breaking news out of Hallis Hall that doesn't come with sirens and fake drama, but with the quiet weight of the moves that real organizations make when nobody's paying enough attention. While a lot of people are still refreshing timelines looking for a flashy name, I'm locked on a decision that tells you exactly how seriously this front office is treating details, field position, and the identity of this Chicago Bears team. This is Bears News Fan Report. I'm here with you, like always, one of you, talking directly to every fan that sat through the bad years, the empty promises, and the soft football, and now demands clarity, toughness, and honest information. In this video, I'm going to break down what changed in the linebacker room, what it means for special teams, how it affects defensive rotations, what it reveals about the mindset inside this locker room, and why a move that most national outlets will park in a tiny line of agate type might end up mattering more than some of the loud headlines. Stay with me until the end, because I'm not just reading an official note. I'm connecting the dots between production, trust, scheme fit, and the standard this team is trying to live up to. Let's zoom out for a second before we hit the core of today's update. When you look at where Chicago is right now in this 2025 season, you see a roster that has finally been built with intention. Investments in the offensive line, real talent on the perimeter, a defense that's faster and more multiple, and above all, a coaching staff that keeps repeating the same concept. Do your job, win your matchup, respect the third phase. That third phase is where pretenders get exposed. Coverage units, punt and kickoff lanes, open field cackling, leverage, discipline, that hidden layer that never goes viral on social, but decides if your defense starts backed up on its own 10 or with grass behind it. And if you've been watching closely, you know there have been snaps this year where the Bears were exactly as physical and coordinated as they want to be, and other snaps where you could feel they were missing one more trusted body who treats those plays like life or death, not like a break between offensive drives. You don't fix that with quotes. You fix that with the right people. Now, I want to focus on one of those people. We're talking about a player who came into this league undrafted, who built a career not on hype, but on reliability, showing up every week, mastering his role, making himself valuable in the exact place where coaches remember your name: special teams. Since his first snaps in the league, he's been that guy who runs through blocks, squares up instead of diving, finishes instead of posing. When he arrived in Chicago, he didn't sell jerseys, but he delivered what matters. All 17 games played, tying for the team lead in special teams tackles, setting a real standard for how you earn trust in this building. That's not noise, that's currency. Then came the setback before this season, the injury. His name shifted to a list you never want to see, and life moved on fast. New faces, new rotations, new storylines. But inside the building, with coaches reviewing tape of punt coverage giving up too many extra yards and kickoff returns getting just a step too wide, there's always that quiet question: when do we get that guy back? The one who never cheats a rep. That's why today is important. The Bears have made it official. Linebacker Amen Bamiga has been activated to the 53-man roster after his stint on injured reserve, and that one line on the transaction report, for me, carries way more weight than people realize. To make room, Chicago waived linebacker Carl Jones Jr., a hard worker who gave this team snaps, but when you're serious about tightening margins, you choose proven impact over sentiment. Bamiga brings something specific and needed: a track record of doing the dirty work at a high level. When I look at his body of work, I see a veteran who understands leverage on returns, who fits tight through blocks instead of running around them, who keeps lane integrity so the rest of the unit can trust the picture, who tackles through the hips and stops ball carriers where he meets them. That shows up in numbers, but more importantly, it shows up in trust. And trust is everything when your season starts coming down to one-score games and every hidden yard matters. Defensively, this isn't about pretending he turns into your number one linebacker overnight. I'm not here to sell illusions. But he is absolutely capable of playing real snaps if injuries or game plans demand it. He can blitz with timing, he can work hook curl zones without getting lost, he can carry backs and tight ends in space when you need to stay in your base or nickel and still match up. That kind of depth keeps your scheme flexible on Sundays. It lets your coaches call aggressive looks, knowing they have people who understand landmarks and tackling angles, not just guys filling jerseys.
Strategically, activating Amen right now is exactly the type of calculated decision good teams make in this part of the year. You're not overpaying, you're not gambling on a name that doesn't fit your room, you're restoring a proven piece into a structure that needs reinforcement. It's also a message to the entire roster. If you embrace your role, dominate on special teams, stay locked in during rehab, and handle your business like a pro, this organization will make a spot for you when you're ready. That matters, because culture's not a slogan on the wall. It's the way decisions like this are made. And this decision lines up perfectly with what this staff has been preaching since day one. I'm excited about this move because I know how many games flip on moments most people never rewind. A stop at the 16 instead of the 32. A lane closed before the cutback. A forced fair catch when the crowd is getting loud. Amen Bamiga is built for those moments. He's the guy who plays like every rep is on tape for his future, and that mentality is contagious. You put that back into your units, and everybody else feels the standard. And there's one more layer I want you to feel because this is where story and strategy meet. Amen's path is not a shortcut story. Born in Lagos, refined through college ball at Oklahoma State, carved his place in the league by running, hitting, and learning in every phase until coaches trusted him without thinking twice. That type of background fits perfectly with what Chicago says it wants to be, a team that doesn't hand anything out, that rewards the grinders, the professionals, the ones who understand that special teams aren't punishment, they're opportunity. When you bring that kind of mindset back into a locker room that already has leaders setting the tone, you're not just adding a name on a depth chart, you're reinforcing the message that the Bears are done being casual about the little things. Even the corresponding move, letting Carl Jones Jr. go, underlines how sharp the margins are at this level. It's not disrespect, it's competition. If he clears and returns on the practice squad, he fights again. If not, that's the reality of a roster trying to climb. For us, from the outside, but emotionally invested, this is the kind of official update you circle. Not because it makes noise, but because it makes sense. And if this team keeps stacking decisions that make sense, from the top of the roster down to the third phase, then all of a sudden, you're not just hoping the Bears turn the corner, you're watching them walk it. Now, I want you in this with me before we close. Jump into the comments and tell me how you see it. Does it mean Bamiga's return make you more confident in our coverage units, our linebacker depth, and the seriousness of this front office when it comes to details? Or are you still pointing at other spots as the next test? Let me know, because this community is built on informed fans, not blind takes. My final read is direct. Bringing Bamiga back onto the active roster right now is a smart, mature football decision that strengthens special teams, protects the defense, matches the identity this staff wants to be, and shows that the Bears are finally treating the margins like they decide seasons. If you value this kind of clear, honest breakdown made by a Bears fan for Bears fans, make sure you subscribe to Bears News Fan Report, turn on your notifications so you don't miss any update, drop a like to push this to more of our people, and share this video with that friend who knows these small moves win big games. We'll keep tracking every step of this season together, with passion, information, and respect for what this team can become if it keeps choosing the right kind of players.